Hey everybody, it's the Financial Reboot Investment Team with your daily live show. So we've got a big show today. We'll keep it quick because it's Tuesday. You know how Tuesdays are. You just, oh, geez, we're rolling into hump day and stuff. We're no different. We talked about yesterday how it's daylight savings time, so the market opens an hour later in Hawaii. But everybody in the trading room, our bodies still haven't adjusted to it. So everybody was at the office this morning at 2:30, like usual. So that hasn't kicked in, so we're all still a little tired. We're still swigging coffee here, but it was a big day today. So let's get right to it. On the market, gold is something that we've been in and we've been talking about. We're bullish on gold right now. We're in some 122 calls. Um, it had a little pullback today, but it's not much. I mean, you remember yesterday was up like 12, $13 spot gold. Gave back about 5, $6 today, but not much. And it held at 12.75. That's really what we were looking for. Um, Trump kind of pushed gold down a little bit today because the rhetoric stopped. And what he was saying about North Korea is that, he feels like they're making progress diplomatically. And so there might be a solution to that doesn't include nuclear weapons. So good luck with that, brother. We're rooting for you. Uh, Other than that, we're just going to stay long gold because there's just a lot going on. This whole thing in the Middle East, the Saudis with the purge, the missile that was shot by Yemen that they're blaming Iran for the Saudis. There's just a lot of action going on, a lot of heating up in the Middle East. So, that'll just blow up gold in a heartbeat. Of course, it goes down a little bit while we're talking. So much for our prognosticating. Anyways, so like I said, there's a lot going on in the Middle East, and even though this is calming down with North Korea, it can take a turn quickly, and the chances of it taking that turn are higher than it continuing to calm down. And like we said, we've got the stuff going on in the Middle East. There's also the Catalonia stuff. Just a lot going on in the world right now that we want to have that hedge. Um, let's go look at the stock market. Well, just real quickly, oil. Oil was down about a 0.75% today, or 42 cents. That's not much considering the run it's been on. And it closed at about $56, which is well over that $50 level, which is a threshold for oil companies. And it actually is holding 55 really well. We'll see if there's a push up. Um, Anytime in the near future. Now, remember, somebody had asked about what oil stocks we like a few days back, and we like WPX. And WPX, I don't know if I have it on my watch list. Yeah, I mean, WPX is almost at $13 right now. I think when we first started talking about it to you guys, it was like $12. So if you got into that, you're winning on that. We own WPX in some of the portfolios, but we like that stock going forward. It's a nice little company, and it's also a very tradable stock too for you guys that like to get in and get out on them. You might want to check that out if you're an oil bug. So just going across the board, the Dow was up 8 points, the Nasdaq was flat half a point. The Nasdaq was down 18 points, not much, quarter of a percent. The S&P was down a half point or 0.02%, not much. The VIX keeps settling under that 10. Just not a whole lot of fear of risk right now going on. Now, don't let that fool you. The VIX can blow up in a heartbeat. All it takes is one bad news, one news cycle that really hurts the market, somebody firing a nuclear weapon, things like that. So we talked about this before. It's we always buy some VIX calls, and we buy them about 37, anywhere between 37 to $40 strike. We try to get them cheap, maybe about 10, 15 cents a contract. But we'll put those in our pocket because we've always found that when we have the quick sell, the VIX will usually pop to about 35 to 40. And this will turn that little investment into easily a 400-500% gainer. And it's a nice protection, especially nowadays where the market is by the dip, right? Well, when it dips, all the stocks you own, you want something to compensate for that loss in value. You use the VIX, right? And so it just makes the pain hurt a little less. Because, like we always say, don't just sell willy nilly when the market starts going down. It's a buy the dip environment. So just weather it. But you want to have these hedges in place so you can take advantage of moves going both ways. You hear us say that all the time. We make money going up, we make money going down. This is how you do it. Right now, we're in a bull market. It's a strong uptrend, so you want your plays to be mostly bullish. The trend is your friend. So, right now, it's if you're not long, you're wrong, and that's playing out true, and it's played out true all year. But there are these selling opportunities. There's these selling dips, and those are buying opportunities, and you want to have a little protection in there, right? So let's move on a little bit. Let's take a quick look at the news. Snap had earnings today. We're going to talk about that in a second. We've got some big news on that for you. But other than that, it was just a soft market day news wise. Twitter had their big news. There's now 280 characters, man. People can start getting long-winded in that. I'm not sure. We discussed this morning as a trading team, and we're just not sure how this is going to help Twitter. I mean, it really, the joy of Twitter is that you kind of pull it up and you've got a few lines and you kind of digest it and people respond and things like that. It's quick, quick, quick. That's what we find that most people enjoy about Twitter. Now you're going to go to these extended posts, and oh my God, they're already most of the posts on Twitter are crap. Now instead of getting 140 characters of crap, you're going to get 280 characters of crap. Enjoy. Anyways, so Target's going to close some stores. That's probably good for the company. Investors like it when you close stores and you lay people off. And it's an unfortunate part of business. But it does help the bottom line. Facebook's got some stuff going on. I guess a big thing if anybody's interested, it doesn't really affect Wall Street, but uh, it looks like New York is going to bring charges against Harvey Weinstein about one of the rapes that he was accused of. UPS dives into blockchain technology. You guys remember back in 99, 98? You remember Linux? Remember how Linux was one of those things that it was supposed to revolutionize everything, and I'm sure it did in some on some level. But you had Red Hat. Red Hat was the big Linux stock, and any company that mentioned Linux, their stock would have a great day, right? And I was mentioning this to the trading team because they're a little younger than me, so they don't really remember that phase. Um, but I remember it well. It's like anybody that is, it's like, oh yeah, we bought Linux software at Computer City. Computer City, if you remember Computer City, you're in my age group too. But it used to be so hilarious. Like some no-name company would just release news. Oh, we bought Linux software at Computer City, and we're installing it into our drive, and the stock could go up $5. I mean, it's really Jesus Christ. We're wondering, and I was bringing this up to the trading team, and this might be a curious question for you guys to ponder, is are companies starting to use blockchain like that? Because blockchain is really the driver behind Bitcoin and stuff, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. So now these companies, they start releasing this little news that they mention the word blockchain, and people are, oh yeah, I gotta buy that stock. Anyways, Wall Street throws a thumbs up to Trump. Who cares? We're pretty much like Trump when it comes to the media and everybody else. I mean, we're just whatever they say about him, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Human drivers are all the way out. The Google's been talking about that for a couple years now. Um, and the Venezuelan crisis. See, there you go. More news about the Venezuelan crisis. We're talking about gold, right? I mean, this unrest just really, I mean, spawns boom in gambling. The last thing you want people that don't have money doing is gambling, right? So that's probably going to contribute to the problem, make things worse there. Mitch McConnell misspoke. What's new? Saudi Arabia, there again, you got the purge. The purge is going on with Saudi Arabia. They just had the purge, and then they had a prince die in a helicopter accident and stuff. It's just really, really an intriguing story if you have time to go read it. We won't get into the details of it, but that is going to affect gold too. Mm. A little coffee there, getting fired up. Jack Bogle bashes Fang investing. This is one of the articles we saw earlier. Uh, probably the most ridiculous statement we've seen all day. Look, if you bought the FANG stocks 3 years ago, you're making tons of money, and there's no reason to believe that you won't continue to. You know, FANG stocks lead the market. You know, it's interesting that story because if you watch the open this morning, the market was green. It was green across the board. And really, it was green across the board all because of the FANGs. It was the FANG stocks that were pushing the market up. So, you know, and I've read articles in the last year or so where it says that the bull market is almost 75% driven by the FANG stocks. So, you know, I mean, remember again, the trend is your friend, right? Until it's proven to be wrong. So, Saudi Koreans, blah blah blah. So let's move on because, yeah, like I said, there just wasn't a whole lot of news cycle. Now, anybody that's been following the live show, thank you. We love you all. Anybody that's been following the live show knows that we are not day traders. We do not sit there living and dying on every tick. VWAPs, candles, wicks, uh, haramis, death crosses, all that great stuff. If you're a day trader, man, God bless you, man. You can make a lot of money day trading, but you know it's just a different art, and we're a different kind of artist. If you follow the show and you listen, actually listen, you know that our style of trading is we like the options maybe 30, 45 days out at a nice reasonable strike. It gives it a little room to work. You know, we're not as susceptible to the news cycle, um, things like that, the buy the dip, right? Because, you know, the worst thing to happen is you buy options on a short leash and somebody comes out with an article about Trump and it pushes the market down and just kills your options. You want to have a little room to operate there. So that's how we trade. But we do every now and then do a day trade, and we did one today. So we went short Snap. This is a newsletter release. We released it in the morning, gave everybody plenty of time to buy the stock during the day. It pretty much sat at our buy price most of the day. Snap sold down towards the close, but not much. But it was easy for everyone to get in, no stress trading, right? After the bell, Snap plunges after a huge revenue miss. You know, if you've talked to us about Snap before, you know we have no faith in that company. It's really like Twitter in the sense that it's a great product, great user base, great opportunity for growth, but they just don't know how to monetize it. You know what I mean? But at Twitter, there's a little bit better of a product and opportunity to monetize. Snap, we just don't feel like there's any opportunity to monetize this. So we're just never been big on Snap. You know, we've never felt like it was a stock to own for the long term. It was we don't even look at it for trading most of the time. But we were looking and we saw this morning. One of us saw that it was having its earnings release and it was trading up a little bit. So we are like, so we all had a little powwow and we went short. We went short the $12 puts, expiring on the 17th. And I did a little math for everyone. And so tomorrow, if we sell them tomorrow at $12, we'll make 450%. If we sell them at $13, we'll make 257%. If we sell them at $14, which is way out of the money, we'll make 115%. Let's go take a look at Snap as is. So right now, after hours, Snap's down about 15, 16%. I believe they just started their conference call, so that might help push the stock up a little bit. But you know what? We were planning to sell these at the open tomorrow. We might hold on to them because that earnings report was ugly. Revenue miss, user growth miss, uh, losing money, bleeding money like a stuck pig. Uh, just really ugly. Look, if you're long Snap, man, I'm sorry. Okay. So that kind of reviews the market day, and it kind of tells you now. Look, if look the newsletter, you know, if you guys want to subscribe, the links below. It's a great deal, and you see how we play. You know, the newsletter subscribers today are really happy. They're going to be even more happy tomorrow, um, with this big win. If there's videos, we always give the free picks. We always tell you what we're playing. If you follow the plays like the XLU, the XLP, even the XLP, we started talking about that last week. If you were following along, if you bought it, you're doing well. Like I said, we don't buy stocks that we expect to move in the next 5 minutes. We like to let everybody, all the newsletter subscribers, get in. So even you that was watching the free video can take advantage of that. You know what I mean? And that's cool. Uh, so if you are and you're getting something out of these, please share the video with somebody. You can sign up, you can subscribe to us on YouTube slash Financial Reboot. You can sign up, you can follow us on Facebook, which is slash Financial Reboot. And we're on Twitter also too. On Twitter, our handle is terrible. I'm terrible with social media. I don't just you don't use it that at Reboot Team. So I'll put these in the comment section. So look, if you enjoy the show, if you get something out of it, please pass it along. The show, we just want to share information. We just want to help everybody. If we can help you be a better trader, that's incredible feeling for us. So if you do, if you enjoy the videos, if you like the videos, if you get something out of it, share it, pass it on, recommend it to somebody else. We live stream every day after the market. Only on holidays we don't live stream. And every now and then, when we've got a little rant, when the kids in the office can prod me into doing a rant, sometimes you get one on the weekend too. So that kind of sums it up. Now, look, if you guys are looking at our little face card on YouTube, there's that little card that goes in front of the video and it says something. If you look at today's, the title of it was uh, natives running around half naked living in grass shacks. You're probably wondering, what the hell does that have to do with the stock market? Jesus Christ, are they drunk over there? They hit the trade. They're drunk. They're recording live. Oh my God! Somebody call Samuel. Stop them. That's not what's happening. What it is look, in Hawaii, we're no different than any other state. We pretty much got do nothing politicians that are much louder than they are effective. In Hawaii, I don't know if you're familiar with our state, but the Honorable Dan Akaka, yeah, Akaka and Dan Inouye. These were two just heroic Congress people, and so proud from Hawaii. Inouye was, of course, a veteran, a war decorated veteran, a very great man. Akaka was someone who of Hawaiian heritage, who was pushing for benefits for the indigenous people of Hawaii, the Hawaiians. They were just remarkable people. But really, since those two, we have had the worst set of do nothing Congress people ever, except for Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi is a little different of a story, and she's such a breath of fresh air. Whether you agreed with her going to Syria and stuff like that, look, this woman is not afraid to go against her party. This woman is not afraid to stand up to wrong. This woman is not afraid to speak her mind. In private circles, you hear a lot about Tulsi for president, and I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere in her career there's a uh, opportunity for trying that, because she's an amazing woman. She's a young girl. She's a veteran. She's a smart lady. She's a doer. So besides Tulsi, we have the worst set of Congress people that are it's they're absolutely the perfect moniker of homers. They're basically, what do you feel about this position? Whatever he said, whatever the Democratic Party said. So, and these are, Brian Schatz is one of them, and it's so embarrassing on Twitter today. So one of my friends on the mainland actually sent me this because I don't watch Twitter. I really don't tweet and stuff, and neither does the gang. But he comes out and tweets today. We had that frightening, just horrific shooting in Texas. The details that are coming out of that are just so uh, heart wrenching. Walking aisle to aisle, shooting infants in cold blood and stuff. It's just frightening. But of course, one of our geniuses had to post on Twitter a simple idea. Anyone convicted of a domestic abuse should see their rights under the Second Amendment severely curtailed. And Sean Davis, I believe he's from the Federalist. He's a big Twitter guy, but he came out and said there's been a federal law for several decades now. It's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, look, if you can't say something intelligent, just don't say anything, right? But it's just, again, you know, prime example of, I've got friends that know people in foreign countries and on states in the mainland and stuff that still think that in Hawaii we run around in grass skirts and we live in grass huts, and we eat coconuts all day. But it's not true. Actually a very large metropolitan. Obviously, our Congress people don't show that, but that's the whole thing behind that front card. So, I thought I'd share that with you guys. Look, if your Congress people are not doing what you want, don't feel bad. You could be in our boat. Jesus Christ. Um, and it's so funny too, not to rant, but in Hawaii, we're going into debt over a rail project that was doomed from the beginning. We're raising taxes. It's just crazy. The homeless situation just gets worse and worse and worse. And we're over here making these kind of tweets. I mean, come on, let's solve a problem. Let's solve a problem, right? Let's stop pandering. Let's solve a problem. Anyway, so that pretty much does it for the show today. You guys remember, if you guys want to, if you guys get some value out of what we're doing, absolutely, please pass the video around again on YouTube or slash YouTube. I'll put it down in the bottom in the comments. Slash YouTube for YouTube and slash financial reboot for I'm sorry, slash financial reboot for YouTube, slash financial reboot for Facebook. Excuse me, a little too quick. I drank my coffee. On Twitter, it's at Reboot Team. So look, we can use the support, and we're not too proud to beg. All right. So look, you guys have a great day. If you didn't play Snap and you're not making 300-400% overnight, if you're not trading stress free, if you're not enjoying trading, give us a look. The newsletter comments are on the bottom. The newsletter information is on the bottom. But more so, if you get something out of this video, please pass it on. Okay, please share it with somebody, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. You guys have a great night. There's a little bit of football tonight. Of course, the NBA season is in full swing. If you're into other things, we're outdoorsy people over here. That's why, people ask us all the time, how come you guys don't post and stuff on Financial Reboot? What's Pat talking about? He doesn't tweet. We're outdoorsy people, and it starts, I always say that with companies, it starts with the leadership, right? And Samuel Levitz, our president, is very, very outdoorsy, and he's very positive, and he's a very good person and stuff. And it bleeds onto us, and so we do the same thing. We're not going to spend time tweeting when we can spend time paddleboarding, right? Anyways, you guys have a great afternoon. We'll talk to you guys soon. Hopefully, it's helpful. Don't forget, we're still in XLU. We're still in XLP. The XLU trade, we're going to start looking to close out. It's actually up about 35-40%. We're going to look for a little follow through tomorrow, and we'll probably close those ones out because they expire on the 17th. The gold trade, we are still long in. We're looking for a move maybe by the end of the week to 1300. We're short Snap. We were going to sell those at the open tomorrow, but now looking at that earnings report, we might carry those a little while. We'll make the judgment call tomorrow, though. Other than that, you guys have a great afternoon. Aloha from Kalihi.